black bam, bam, a lamb. Whoa, black bam, bam, a lamb, a black buddy child. The year was 1991. I was in Frankfurt at the Hauptbahnhof. That's the German name for a train station. Blue rucksack on my back, harmonica in my top pocket, an old guitar, some washing that needs to be washed somewhere because I've been on the road for a long time. 10 Deutschmarks, that's all I had in my pocket. That's like 10 New Zealand dollars, and I was tired. Just like I am tonight, it's after midnight and I should be in bed, but I wanted to tell a story before I went to bed tonight for you guys. I had no idea where I was going to stay that night, where my next meal was coming from, where my next dollar was coming from. I'd had a string of really good luck and then a string of really bad luck, and I was thinking to myself, bad things happen in three, and 3 bad things had just happened, so maybe now my luck would turn around. I got outside the train station, looked around, typical train station. The police were watching a group of people of some different ethnic, there was Chinese and some black guys, and they were in one corner over there. The typical heroin addicts hanging around with a bent leg statue, some alcoholics in a corner all sharing drink and cigarettes and looking pretty bloody pathetic and miserable, like all down on their luck, looking pretty sad. There was one area I was attracted to. It was very, very bright. The sun was filtering through between 2 buildings. It was very bright, almost like a spotlight. And it was winter time and it was cold as it was, so I thought, I'll head on over there, it looks warm, and the people over there looked younger and a bit more sort of hip. So when I went on over this corner, it was kind of cool. There was a couple of old guys sitting down playing chess, looking at the chessboard, thinking, next move, with a couple of younger people behind watching, and there was a guy on roller skates doing some juggling with a hat on the ground, doing a bit of sort of busking with his juggling act and talking to people. There was a crowd of people further over. There was 2 very attractive women and some Italian guy looked like he was trying to chat them up. There was a guy that caught me a little bit. He was an overweight guy and he was carrying something looked like a table or a chair under his leg or both, and he was quite overweight and he was drunk and he was staggering around, but he was talking to people. And for some reason I was drawn to him. I don't know what it was about him. I think I could hear some English being spoken, so I got a bit closer and sure enough he was American. Other things were going on in the area, but this guy got my attention, so I walked on over a bit closer. He didn't see me, but I saw him, and I sort of approached a businessman that was walking, trying to get to his train, and he was, hey man, he was saying, hey man, I just had some really good luck. You're not going to believe it. And the businessman was like, nah, nah, and he was German. He just, no time, he kept on walking, and the overweight American guy, he was sort of acting drunk. And I say acting drunk because as soon as the guy ignored him, he sort of straightened himself up a little bit. And then another guy came in, he did the same thing again, he got rubbed off. And I thought, what's this guy playing out a bit? Has he got some hustle going on here? And then I saw a younger guy that was probably my age. I was about 27 at the time. Oh no, probably, 27 years of age. And this kid would have been the same. Well, man, he had a tracksuit on, he was quite sort of thin and a little bit pale looking and a bit geeky looking, and this American guy goes, hey bro, man, I just had the big win. I've just won the trifecta. As soon as he said trifecta, I thought, that's what we have in New Zealand when you win the races, the trifecta. Didn't know it was an American term or even used in Germany. So I perked up more, and this other guy was sort of interested. And he got talking, and then the big American guy pulled his hand out of his pocket and he gave me a green bottle of Jägermeister, the little wee bottle about that big, and said, have a drink me, bro, on me. And he gave this guy a drink, and they took the little caps off the top and they both clinked their bottles together, and they drank this Jägermeister, and a bit of laughing, and the fat American was acting really relaxed. And then he dropped something under his arm. It was actually a little fold-out chair. You pull it and a bit of canvas seat would be in the middle and just a bar at each end. He had 2 of them. And he put them down on the ground. He also had a table, and he pulled that out, and it was almost a fold-out one with a hard top, just folded in 2 and clicked into place underneath. And he put it down, and they sat down at this little makeshift table, and they drank Jägermeister. And I was watching this guy, and I couldn't quite work out what was going on, so I got a little bit closer. I was getting curious, and as I got closer, the guy noticed me, and he goes, hey, man, I'm Alex. He waves over to me, and I said, G'day, Alex. And I pretended that I was drunk too. I don't know quite why I did that, but maybe call it gut intuition. But he looked drunk, so I was pretending I was drunk. Maybe not to be a threat. I don't know what I was thinking. I said, "Hey, go on, bro." I wasn't drunk at all. I was sober. I was tired. And when he saw me drunk, he says, "Come on over." And he goes, I've just had a big win. And I thought, this guy's scamming. And I said, "Well, that's really coincidental because I've also had a really big one." And he goes, "Yeah, man?" I said, "Yeah." I said, I'm a musician. I've been down on my ear and I've just got this contract. I've been doing international entertainment for a firm that does big productions and messes and halls for people showing their product, and they gave me my first show, and I've just done it today. I just got back from the pub. I made 1,050 Deutschmarks, and I've been to the pub and I've just been celebrating myself. It's been brilliant because I haven't been doing that well. And I've been on the street for a lot of years at this stage. I mean, I was living under the Motueka Bridge when I was like 15, and I'm now 27, so I know a scammer when I see a scammer, so I was sort of playing his game a little bit, but not sure really what was going on. He lit up when he saw that I'd had a win and that I was also drunk. So he, I believe, was acting drunk, and I was also acting drunk. I wasn't quite sure, but I had a gut feeling that he wasn't drunk. Anyway, he says to this other young guy, he says, "Hey man, you want to play a game?" And the guy goes, "Yeah." And he pulls out 3 McDonald's cups out of his, got all his pockets everywhere. He pulls these 3 cups out on the table and then digs down his pocket. He's looking for something he can't find it. He's in the other pocket, he's up here, and eventually he pulls out this ping pong ball. I thought, oh, here we go. I know this one. He puts them on the table. He goes, puts it in the middle one and moves them all around the middle one, then takes the middle one to the outside, moves and puts the middle one back. He goes, "Where's the ball, man?" And the guy looks at the cup and looks at it and goes, "Well, it's the middle one." I was thinking to myself, I know it's the middle one. He goes, "Dang, you're good, man." He goes, "You want to do a little gamble? I tell you what, man, I'll give you the money." He takes out a coin. It's a 5 Deutschmark coin. He goes, "Yeah, bro, you pretend that's yours. You keep that. And you can gamble it with me, and I'll bet you 5. See if you can double your money." So this goes on, and he does the thing, and the guy wins the ball. I knew it was going to happen. And he goes, "Dang, you're taking 10 D-mark off me, bro. No, good going, man." And this young guy who I thought wouldn't be onto him goes, "Well, I've got to get out of here." And he goes, "Oh man, you give me a chance to win it back." And he goes, No, I'm quitting while I'm ahead." And I said to him, "Yeah, well, that's really wise, man. Yeah, that's wise." And so this guy left. Now, I wasn't sure whether he had allowed him to get away so easy or if he was part of the act, but I'm pretty sure he was just a smart young man. And so he let him go, and he quickly pulled me in and he gave me a bottle of Jägermeister. I said, "Oh man, I've drunken enough today already. I shouldn't drink more." He goes, "Come on, man, celebrate. You've had a win today. I've had a win." I said, "Tell me about your win." He goes, "Oh, big time. Hit the big time." And I said, "Lots?" He goes, "So much, bro." And I said, "Well, that's cool." Clinked our glasses together, and he goes, "You want to play the game?" I says, "Oh, my state, bro. I don't think I could do it very well." Flicks him round. It's on the one left-hand side cleared. I said, "Oh, I think it's the left, but I'm not really sure. I think it is. Oh, no, it's the middle one." He goes, "Are you sure, man?" I said, No, it's the left one." He lifts it up and goes, "Dang, you're good too, bro." Now, I was really acting stupid. It was clearly the left one, but I was acting dumber than I was. He said, "You want to do a gamble?" I said, "Bro, you don't have to give me any money. I've got heaps." He said, No, I don't want to take your money, man. I just want some fun. Here, have a 5 D-mark." Pulls out another coin out of his pocket. And so we do it, and of course I win that there. So now I'm teeing up because it wasn't my money to begin with. Now, I've only got 10 Deutschmark in my pocket anyway, so this guy's not going to take anything off me. I'm certainly not going to try and even get my 10. And he does it again and again. I double up, and I now have like I've taken 20 off the man. I've gone from the 5 to the 10 to the 20. I've doubled up. And he goes, "Oh, bro," he says, "you're cleaning me out, man." He says, "Oh, no, I'm no more." And he says, do you want to put something on yourself? You want to put some money down? I said, well, my money's mostly in the top of my pack. I've only got some tens floating around in my pocket here. And he goes, well, let's see if we can do another one. But you got to put some money because you weren't taking enough of me. So I took out my 10. Now I figured I'd already hit if I lose this, but I'm acting like I'm really hopeless at it. And he does a reasonably easy one still, and it was definitely the right hand side, and I know he's making it easier for me. And I said, oh, I can't decide. I don't know which one it is. It's either the right or the left. I don't know. I'll say the right. And he goes, dang, you're good, man. Now, at this stage here, I thought he's not going to do this anymore. So I'm going to get out while I'm ahead with the money that I've got. I'm going to get out. And he was starting to get on to me. And also, at this time, I was looking at these two girls that I'd seen earlier that were talking to the Italian bloke. And one of them was playing with her hair and keeps on looking over at me. And she got my attention. I said to this guy, yeah, I think I'm going to go, man. I'm too drunk. And he said, no, man, you got to give me a chance to win that little bit back. And I knew what his game was going to be. He was going to probably take a whole lot more. He was going to do something. He was going to either let me start. He was going to wait till I started to put my own money into it. Because so far he hasn't lost a huge amount. He's lost some, but not a huge amount. But I don't want to play that game. I don't want to try and stretch him. And so I said, bro, maybe I'll play another time with you. But I've got to get going. I want to go and talk to this lady. And he got really angry. He was like, no, man, you got to give me a chance. And suddenly he wasn't acting drunk anymore, but I was still acting drunk, and he was acting sober. And he was like adamant I wasn't going anywhere. And I said, bro, chill out, man. You've had a win today. I've had a win. We're all good. You have to worry about a few dollars after your big win. This is nothing. And he's really starting to sort of almost muscle up on me. And I was thinking, well, I'm not going to give him a chance. I'm just going to go. So I said, cheer, bro, and headed over to this. I probably didn't say chair because chair wasn't even a word back then. It was probably chairs or something. And I went over and saw these two ladies that were sitting there. And I go over to them. And there's Italian guys. As soon as I go over there, the Italian guys looking at me up and down. And I was like, just going straight towards the girls. Didn't really want to talk to him. And he certainly didn't want to see me. And I went on over and I said, how's it going there? And I introduced myself and told them where I'm from. I'm from New Zealand. And they said hello, and the one that I was really interested in, her name was Annika, and blonde, beautiful, beautiful German woman. And the Italian guy, he stepped in and he tried to be polite because I was already in there, and knocked his face and be cool, and shook his hand too, and talked for a bit. And he took out a packet of cigarettes and he offered everyone a cigarette, trying to be the man. He had this gold bling around his neck and a gold watch and rings and that there, and I was in a pair of jeans. And Annika had been the one that had smiled at me, and she liked me, so I knew, I could tell by the body language. And they said, what do you do? And I said, well, I'm a musician from New Zealand. I just come over here to play a bit of this. And I pulled out the harmonica and I played some music for them. Now I started playing this fast song like that and doing this. And there was a few gypsies floating around. And when I say gypsies, these were young gypsy children. And a couple of them started dancing, and I had my rucksack and the guitar there, and one of them was eyeing my rucksack all the time. Now, in the top of my rucksack was just all my dirty underwear and socks and stuff, because I've been on the road a long time. This one kid was trying to look at it. I was watching him just very carefully, but he didn't know I was watching him. And then a couple more start dancing. Now there's four, and their mama comes over. I'm singing a few lines. There's a few more kids coming, and there's a couple of teenagers coming. It's building a little audience. I'm watching this kid dance, and I see him get the zip of the top undone. I saw him zip it, and he was so very, very good at doing this. And I'm watching him. What's he going to do? Take a pair of dirty underwear? He's looking for money. There's no money in there. All the money is in my top pocket, and it ain't much. He's got the zip, and he's got his hand in the air, and I go... And I pointed him at the whole crowd, and everybody looks, because it was in the corner, I didn't see it. And he's got his hand in the bag. And I said, what are you doing, little man, with your hand in my bag? And his mother comes over as if, and she was in on it. There's something she set up. And she goes over and pretends to scold him and tell him off. And he's like, oh, mama. And it's like, it's all a big act. This is their hustle, ripping off the tourists, and he probably, I mean, they were good at doing what they were doing. But anyway, playing this music still, and this goes on for a little bit longer. Then I could see the girl Annika was getting a little bit bored, and I'd gone over to see her really. So I said, hey, you want to go for a drink? And I'd taken a little bit of money off this this guy. His name was Alex, by the way. He'd introduced himself. I don't know if I said that earlier, but his name was Alex. And I said to the girl, I said, do you want to go and have a drink? And also the other girl too, and to the Italian guy. So we go and have a drink of that Kneiper over the way there. The Kneiper is a little sort of imbus, outdoor place where they sell a bit of drink and stuff. And I said, I took a little bit of money off this guy over here. And the Italian goes, you took the money off Al? And I said, yeah. He goes, man, Al is he's a very, very, you know, he's very good. And I said, very good at what? Oh, the Al, he taking money off you. And I said, no, he took no money off me. I took money off him. He goes, well, that's not normally the way. The Al is, he make the money. And I said, well, he didn't make any money off me. And I said, well, take him too. So I went over and here's Al, and he's already getting, the sun's starting to go down. We're shady now. I said, hey, Al, since I took a few Deutschmark off you, you want to come for a drink? I'm shouting over this Kneiper over here. So we all rock over there, me, the Italian guy, who wouldn't let me buy him a drink, by the way. He insisted on paying for the ladies first, so I bought Al a drink. And the ladies said, do you want to try a German drink other than just the what was I drinking? I was drinking the Jägermeister. That means Hunter Master, and you translate it. And I said, what else? They said, well, we have this drink that we have here. It's made out of malt. It's quite sweet. It's not alcoholic, but it tastes nice. I said, yeah, I'll try that. So I drank this malt drink, and they bought one for the Italian guy as well. That was something that they bought for him after he'd bought the first drink. His round was just a beer. That had already gone down. So this is sort of halfway through the time we're spending there. So we drank this malt, and it just tasted really sweet. The Italian guy didn't like it at all. The American guy, Al, liked it. Big Al, as it turned out. So we drank a few drinks, so we got a little bit tipsy. I don't want to spend too much of the money because I only had a little bit of money, and I still didn't have a place to go the night. And I said, hey guys, I've got to go and find a place to sleep tonight. I'm looking for a place. And at this stage here, Big Al thinks that I've still got loads of money. And I said to him, Big Al, you don't seem to be drunk anymore. And he says to me, man, you don't seem to be drunk anymore too. And I said, I never was. And he goes, yeah. And I said, neither were you either. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, you're onto me. And I says, I was onto you from the start, bro. And he goes, you never had a big win either. And I said, nah. I was trying to scam the scammer. He goes, well, man, you got me good. I had a plan. I said, I knew you had a plan. I said, anyway, I've got to find a place to stay. He goes, man, you can stay at mine, Dukes. I said, yeah. He says, yeah, if you don't mind slumming it. And I said, yeah, well, I didn't think you'd be living in a palace, mate. So off we went with him and Annika, because the other girl that was with her, she left with the Italian guy. So there was the three of us, and we went back to this place. Now, it's down by the river, and it's a bridge, and the pillar that goes up to the bridge, it holds the bridge up, which is about, maybe 2 meters wide. He's got a doorway, it's tiny, and lifts a piece of corrugated, well, not corrugated iron, it was corrugated something. I don't think it was iron, it was hard corrugated plastic. It was like a corrugation like that, pulls it away, and there's a wee hole, and when we get up inside, you can stand up, and he's got a switch he turns on. He's got power in this place. We go up a tiny little ladder, and when we get up in there, there's a whole room inside this place. It's unbelievable. It's got a room, he's got power, he's got lights, he's got a bed that's his bed, and he also has got a big couch. He's got a cooking place where he's doing his cooking. He's got another one that he pulls open, which becomes a window. So we've got one window coming in, and it's an open window. And he's got this place for cooking. He's got some shelves with some books and CDs back in that day. And quite an elaborate little setup he's got in there. And I'm like, man. So we're sitting down there, and he's pulled out his table, and he didn't have much to offer us in the way of food. We sat there, and we drank some more Jaeger. He had these little bottles of Jägermeister. Drank some Jägermeister. I played some harmonica, and we sang a few songs. And we passed around a smoke of Lebanese blonde hash. I remember smoking, and I could feel my ears going all warm and buzzing. And we're sitting here slowly getting stoned on this here. And it's like the music sort of going through the night, we're playing and talking, and he starts snoring on the couch, and Annika shakes him when he gets up and goes, "Oh, sorry, man," and he goes and lies in his bed. Then we're on the couch and end up doing what young people do at that age on the couch. I mean, she was like out of my league, really, when I think back. She was attractive and I was this bum on the street, but she seemed to like me, so we had a night of romance. Early the next morning when it was still dark, I woke up. I woke up earlier than I should have because I still needed to sleep. I woke up and I used to carry this tiny little, it was about that long, it was a telescopic rod. And every place I used to go, where there was a river, I'd always go fishing in the morning or the evening if I had a chance. And so I went down there and I had nothing for bait, and he had some cheese in his little, he had a safe for all his stuff. It was actually a safe up by the top window, and I took a piece of cheese off, and about that, just a wee slice about that much, and with my knife, and cut some for bait, and snuck out. Annika was still asleep on the couch, and I went down the ladder and right beside the bridge, and the sun was just coming up and the traffic was moving, the city was coming alive, it was beautiful, the lights were still on from the night before, and I sat down there, and it's just a quiet moment, and I thought to myself, my life, it feels like I'm living in a matrix. Everything's just changing all the time. Every day is a new adventure. I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm sitting there just with my fishing line. I wasn't getting any bites. I was just fishing away there, just watching people commute to work and hearing the noise and big planes flying overhead, watching the police car go on the other side of the river with its light going, watching cyclists, ducks on the river, people going about their day, starting to go about their day. It was still just going from dark to light as it changed. The night was disappearing. And I was sitting there and I was almost nodding off to sleep, and suddenly my line's like, I thought, holy shit, I've got a fish. Normally I only have caught things like carp. I never caught anything you could really eat in all those places. There was a lot of these fish you couldn't eat. But this was a good fish. It had taken my cheese. And I was like, holy shit. So I sit upright and start playing this fish, and it's got some weight to it. It's a 3 or 4 pound fish. It's not a small fish. I didn't expect to catch a fish. And I got this thing on my line, I'm playing it. And there's a guy who was jogging, and he sees me, and he jogs back, and he's standing beside me while I've got this fish I'm playing. He's still jogging, but he's standing in the same place. And he goes, "Was ist das?" in German. What is that? And I spoke a little bit German. I said, "Ich habe keine Ahnung." I have no idea. And he's still jogging, and I'm trying to play it. And I said to him, "Can you stop running while I'm playing this? It's putting me off, man. I'm trying to play this fish." And he's jogging beside me. He goes, "Oh no, it's cold. It's cold. Yeah, I must keep myself warm," he was trying to tell me. So I turned it back because it's putting me off. I'm trying to play this fish. I don't want to lose this fish. It could be a breakfast, I'm playing this fish here, and just about got it in, and this guy's still jogging beside me, and I'm getting put off by it, and I just for a moment went slack, and I lost it. I was like, fuck. And then he just runs off. And I felt like saying, "Fuck you." I thought, well, that's not going to happen again. The chances of that happening, pull the cheese is gone, put it up, put another piece of cheese on, flick it back out, and I'm still now feeling a bit pissed off. And I only put it out for like a minute. Bang, fish back on. And it felt like exactly the same fish. For all I know, it was the same fish. It felt exactly as heavy and exactly the same. And fish aren't that clever, They're not that clever. And I wouldn't have been surprised with the same fish that saw the cheese again and liked it, was back on, and I was playing it, and nobody was bothering me. I was playing it for quite a while, probably a good 3-4 minutes. Got this fish keeping a nice tight line, and I was then getting up towards the bank. There's a little flat part there, and I'm like, I haven't got a net, and I'm pulling it up, and just as I'm getting up, it comes off, and I'm like flicking this thing, trying to get it up on the bank, get it up onto the bank, and I'm on it. And this fish is about this long. I haven't ever seen a fish like this. It's not a carp, and it's not a trout. I don't know what it is. I never to this day found out what it is, but I get it out, club it with a rock, and I've got this knife that I carry, one of these French-made ones with the really good steel, Opinel. That's an Opinel. Got that there, and I've taken the guts out of it, and knocked the scales off, and taken the guts out, and I take it back up into the house, or not the house, the hut under the bridge there, and they're both still asleep. She's all looking beautiful lying there. Her hair's all over the place. It's Annika. And Fat Al's like... I'm back in there and I've got this fish and I feel like the man because I've got this fish. And this means we're going to eat really well. So I'm in there and I give her a shake. And she wakes up and looks all gorgeous at me and she goes, hello. And I said, fish for breakfast. She goes, fish for Frühstück? That's Frühstück is breakfast. I said, fish for breakfast. She goes, nein. And I said, look. She goes, meine Güte, das ist ganz geil. I said, it's pretty cool, eh? And she goes, she said in English, well, she tried to say in English, do you make that happen often? Do you do this often? And I lied to her saying, yeah, no problem to me, which is bullshit because my fishing in Europe, that was the second fish I'd caught in months. So, yeah, it's pretty normal for me. So I've got my open L knife out, I've got it on the bench and I'm taking the fillet off, flipping it over, and I said, do you want it with the skin on or skin off? And she goes, well, what's the difference? I said, well, I've taken the scales off, you get a nice crunchy skin. She says, skin on. So I do that, I do the same on the other side, and then I get my end of my knife and I just poke all the skin, make little holes in it, in both of them, got both the fillets with the skin, and I get some salt and rub the salt in. She says, was magst du? What are you doing? I said, this makes the skin crackle up when it goes in the pan. If you put a bit of salt in there, it crackles up better. And got the pan there and everything's going great. I reckon I'm so far impressing you pretty well. In fact, I know that I'm impressing you pretty well. And he's still in the corner there. He hasn't moved. He's not getting up. And I'm cooking this fish. And it's just coming out perfectly in the pan. I'm looking for something to have it with, something green. But he's got nothing green in his little cupboard and his little safe with the mesh. There's nothing green there, so... I'm serving it up with just some rice left over from the night before on the plate, and I give her a plate and I clean a couple of things like a fork and a knife on my shirt and give her that there, and she's sitting there. We did have some lemon and that was a blessing, bit of lemon juice. He had a whole lot of lemons, ones he'd taken from someone's tree or something somewhere, and he had some other vegetables and fruits which weren't compatible. The lemon went with it, and then he woke up and I said, hey Big Al, and he goes, hey man, good morning. I said, fish for breakfast. He goes, no fucking way. I said, yeah man. He goes, you shitting me bro, where'd you get fish in the morning? I said, I caught it. He goes, you're shitting me. I said, no, I caught it with my fishing rod mate. He goes, fuck off. I said, yes I did man. I said, I could probably catch more, but there's enough for us all here. I said, I've given this lady here half a fillet, and I've got a half for me and a whole fillet for you because you're a big guy and you need more. And he's like, really, man? And I said, yep, and it's cooking right now. So this fillet, it was about this long. It's a very big fillet, you know. This stuff was like a 3-pound fish. It's all crackling up nicely in the pan. Bring it over to him, bit of rice, give a bit of lemon over the top, and he's sitting up there. And I realise he's completely stark bollock naked, and he's under his bed. In this place, he's got a little diesel heater. So it runs on diesel, and it stinks the place out a bit, but it warms up. And he's sitting up there with just his sleeping bag over his fat belly's hanging out, and his belly's so big you can't even see his manhood because his belly's so fat. It's hanging out. And I said, bro, if you put some pants on, we could sit around the table. He's got this tiny table. We slept on the couch for the night. He's got this table in front of it. So he gets up, and the first thing he does a big fart as he stands up, and I was like, oh jeez. Annika just laughs. He gets up and puts some underwear on and a singlet, and he comes on over and he smells pretty bad of body odour, and he's pretty greasy looking, but he sits up there on the couch, and I'm sitting there, and so you got big fat Al, got Annika in the middle, and me, and I'm doing my fillet, and we're all sitting there, it's sort of around this tiny little table eating our fish for breakfast, and I'm thinking to myself again, yeah, I'm really living in a matrix now. This is just, who would have thought this guy from New Zealand be living inside the pillar of a bridge on this morning in Frankfurt, on the other side of the world, catching a fish with a telescopic rod, feeding a guy that's a scammer with the most beautiful German girl. I mean, this is just so insane, and I'm not even smoking anything right now. I'm just completely like this morning. I'm waking up pretty straight, you know. This is crazy, and my whole life is going crazy like this. So we're eating the fish. We're really enjoying it. It's really, really good. And he goes, hey bro, after I finished, he says, I got a surprise, man. I got a dessert. I'm like, what could make this possibly better? And I said, what do you got? And he goes, pomegranates. Now, I'd never heard of a pomegranate. I didn't know what pomegranates were. I'd never ever heard of pomegranates at all. So he got down a can of this coconut milk, and he got these fruit, these pomegranates, and he had 2 of them, and he cut them on. Never seen anything like it. They had all these red sweet seeds that came out, and he put them into these 3 bowls, and he put coconut milk in there, and then he sprinkled ground coconut on top. So it was coconut with coconut and these pomegranates, and then he gave us this like a dessert spoon, like these really, really expensive silver ones that he just got from somewhere. I don't know, some boot sale or something. So we got this here, and this was our dessert, and it was a really weird taste, but it was kind of nice. The German lassie, she loved it. Annika was like, oh, das ist lecker, oh yeah, eating it. So we've had the fish, and now we're having the pomegranate dessert, and it's just like, man, could this get any better? So we have a dessert, and I really seriously need to get my shit together because I'm low on cash and still don't have a place to really go. So I was, with all good intentions, wanting to get to the Frankfurt Youth Hostel in the morning early to book in so I had their place for the day so I could do my washing and have a shower. But I got caught up on the way. I didn't quite get there. But that's a story for another day because it's past midnight here where I am, and I'm well tired. I'll tell you that part 2 of scamming the scammer in another video. But I got to get some sleep, guys and girls, because yeah, it's past my bedtime, way past it. I hope you enjoyed the throwback story.